Yo, Ran, turn that up.
She calling my phone cause she wanna link up. Ay, soon as I pull up, she get the leaking. You would think I picked the sink up down. Fuck it, I'm tripping. Back to the crib, I made a stupid decision. I gotta grind and make a way for all my future children. Cause I know that if I don't, nobody else will. So I can't get no more sleep on 4 with X pills. I been focused on me on D&D, don't hit my line. Cause lately it ain't been nothing on my mind except my grind. Yeah, it ain't nothing on my mental except for this money I'm getting to. Ayy, my pockets used to be dead, they came back to life like they took a sensu bean. These niggas said that they with you, but they ain't with you. Man, what the fuck you mean? They gon' get tired of the grind, but I'm loving this shit like I'm at Mickey D's. Whoa, whoa, yeah, yeah. Focused on dead friends like melee. Niggas can't catch my fly, no Mr. Miyagi, I'm they sensei. I'm the same nigga. Some 12s and a 10 fade. Shit deeper than getting a rent paid. I'm tryna feed my folks, get big paid, yeah. Phone on D&D, cut off the fake, I started growing. Fuck everybody sleeping, one day they gon' stop the snoring. I'm that young nigga who gon' shine throughout the storm. But don't forget, get in our way, we bound to shoot, got perfect form, yeah. She calling my phone cause she wanna link up. Ay, soon as I pull up, she get the leaking. You would think I picked the sink up down. Fuck it, I'm tripping, back to the crib, I made a stupid decision. I gotta grind and make a way for all my future children. Cause I know that if I don't, nobody else will. So I can't get no more sleep on 4 with X pills. I been focused on me on D&D, don't hit my line. Cause lately it ain't been nothing on my mind except my grind. My grind. I'm putting in work, it's coming with perfect timing. I'm going up, you know I'ma blow for real. I feel it like big, I'ma blow like I put a fork in the sack. Diarrhea, I swear this shit ain't stopping. See my go hawk it down just like Tyler, like it on go. No, I ain't never stopping. No, I ain't stopping for shit, bitch, I'm popping my shit. Pretty soon I'ma ice on my wrist. Sometimes my vision get clouded, but no matter what, I always see through the mist. Know the money, the only thing that won't betray me. So I keep it with me like more than real. Cause I know folks thought that was out of this world. I watch them change like the Omnitrix. I seen them change, that wasn't real. But I'm still money hungry, I'm chasing a meal. I'm on my grind. D&D don't hit my line, working hard how I spend my time. She calling my phone cause she wanna link up. Ay, soon as I pull up, she get the leaking. You would think I picked the sink up down. Fuck it, I'm tripping, back to the crib, I made a stupid decision. I gotta grind and make a way for all my future children. Cause I know that if I don't, nobody else will. So I can't get no more sleep on 4 with X pills. I been focused on me on D&D, don't hit my line. Cause lately it ain't been nothing on my mind except my grind, yeah.
Stay here on the ground. It's overrated. The cityscape escapes you with a sound. It's delineated. I waited at the station for an hour, but I won't make it. You take off on an updraft by the tower, and you overtake it every moment. I see you on the rise. You're drawn across the sky. Now that ink has dried, I can't tell you why. Oh, Mimi, can you tell me there's an issue? I've seen it clouded all around you. Why can't you tell me there's an issue you've seen before? Oh, Mimi, can you tell me there's an issue? I've seen it clouded all around you. Why can't you tell me there's an issue you've seen before? And I can't tell you why. Oh, I can't tell you why. Why you have to stay here on the ground? It's overrated. The cityscape parades you with a sound. It's delineated. No one here has even learned your name, but they all claim that they saw you land and land to do the same, but they won't make it. Every moment I see you on the rise. You're drawn across the sky. Now that ink has dried, and I can't tell you why. Can you tell me there's an issue? I've seen it clouded all around you. Why can't you tell me there's an issue you've seen before? Or maybe can you tell me there's an issue? I've seen it clouded all around you. Why can't you tell me there's an issue you've
Hello there, folks. It's I, Nerdy John, the nerdiest radio host on the internet. And today, I am joined by Tyrone, the birth controller, the host of Kill the Sabbath. Recently, he had a channel strike, which, if he will undeafen, I will. Oh, okay, he undeafened. There we go. How you doing, Tyrone, the birth controller? I totally did not have you on the show to make sure that Eric July couldn't call me racist.
Oh, yeah. You know, John, it's been a while. That's all I can say here.
Yeah. Oh,
We got a few things to go over here. Eric D. July is fucking a One Piece character, but I don't think he's got the luck on his side this time.
no. No, yeah. He tried to strike out on his own, but I think he's just gonna be probably like a Blackbeard lackey.
Well, he really takes the name Worst Generation to a whole new level. I mean,
Oh my
his
god.
team of Rockstar lawyers, everything is not good.
No,
Eric
my
July.
superstar lawyers, okay, the rock stars. Okay.
Did you just get me on so you could do this
Guys.
A little bit of a docket up here. Okay, I can go over Eric July. We're gonna start from the very beginning to give context to the stream.
Yeah. Okay, so Eric July is he's a libertarian, and
You may know Eric July for being a black libertarian. I think
Yeah,
that's what
yeah.
people used to know him as the quintessential. Okay, he's the black guy, so we aren't definitively racist.
yeah,
He was
guys.
always propped up in that kind of sense. You
Gu-
may also have that he published a comic book called ISOM. And it's like, ISOM? What does that stand for? Well, any search about 2 years ago, you'd find something called the International School of Ministry, a Christian, Christian International School of Ministry. And you may think ISOM, the comic book that Eric July made, where he has himself, a self-insert with a crucifix on his cock, is perhaps linked. But unfortunately, that was not the case whatsoever. And this comic book, though, did actually attain quite a big audience. It raised a few $1 million. It was propped up.
Oh,
and
yeah, about
ISOM
what was
such
it,
a big
6 million?
success.
6 million.
I don't want to be that guy, but I'm gonna judge the numbers. I don't think I think 6 million is a bit too high, John.
Oh.
But we're going, it raises quite a lot of money. ISOM, the comic, and promoted by all these people, Yellow Flash, all these, people who just, complain about everything all day. And
Yeah.
this is touted as the savior of comic books. However, when they're questioned, have you read it? Well, it's a good first effort. Have you read it? It's not my thing. Have you read it? No. I don't think anyone has read ISOM and enjoyed it, to be honest, because it sits on the desk like how fucking, like a book that never be read. It is. You know how Quartering used to have his bookcase that he would never read any of the books in on the background,
But it made
He'd
him
always
look
show
smart.
off. Yes, the bookcase where he used to tilt the books so you could see the title. I remember one you could see Leviathan, but it was like a bookshelf in like the fucking Simpsons where you could only read the titles and that's about it. It's very clearly just lined up, not for ease of use. So he was just having this background thing, yeah, whatever the fuck. ISOM belongs on there. No one's reading it, and it just, it's designed as a token, and that's about it. But we have a few videos up here.
Oh my god, yeah.
Well, we're gonna start today.
So, I do want to give a little bit more of like, everyone knows Vito, love him, hate him, he's around, and he already had a strong disliking towards Eric July because of his politics, and he found out that he was doing this comic book, and he read the first comic book. Is like, this sucks. This isn't supposed to be comics. And of course, Vito is the co-host for Biggest Problem of the Universe, which his main host is Dick Masterson. And Dick kind of wanted to one up Vito. He's like, it can't be that bad. You just hate him because of the politics.
Yeah.
By the
and
time
then
he got done reading it,
yeah.
he had so many writer's notes because I'm paraphrasing here, but it read like someone's first draft. Like, hey, have you guys ever read or written like a small story maybe like in high school because you're bored and you're just trying to like pass the time during class and you write
It's written
something.
by someone who doesn't know how to read. Written by someone who puts every character as like a reflection of himself. It's always obsessed with like respect. You know, there's really trivial.
Well, listen here,
details
you
it
can't
leaves out.
disrespect me.
Character motivations are very strange. Like the main character, you really meant to be rooting for him. Like the first scene you see him, he like punches a bodyguard for doing nothing wrong and just kills him. He gives him like a blood hemorrhage and practically kills him. You never see that guy ever again. And my favorite review was not either Dick or Vito's review. It was the review of the elementary school teacher who went through ISOM and said that their kids probably who are in that class, it's like something they expect from them. It's like very, you know, mishandled motivation.
Mhm.
There's nothing really established. It starts off and like the main character, like what even is like Isom's power? Like the main thing about like a superhero thing is very clear, well defined.
Yeah, I don't even know his powers. Like, I think it like he vaguely has like super strength, but that's about it. That's as far as I know. For all I know, he could be like a Luke Cage like wannabe.
Yeah, because he tried to say it was like a detective thing, but then someone asked him, "Hey, can Isom fly?" and he couldn't give an answer to it. So I guess he can and can't.
Yeah,
It just really changes on what it depends.
yeah,
And
yeah.
like,
Well,
I'm
like,
not,
oh,
I'm not
sorry,
the
go ahead.
biggest, like comic book guy. I've read a few. I'm more of like a manga guy. But the
Mhm.
few things about comics, even in bad comics, is that the character itself is very well defined, and you know what he does. You know what he does.
Yeah.
Isom, you ask 10 different people what Isom does. Oh, he's a guy who punches people. Well, that doesn't sound like the good guy, you know? That doesn't sound like the good guy. It seems like the mysterious bad guy where you don't know his evil powers yet to take over the world. Like,
Mhm.
he's not written like the good guy.
Yeah.
Which is funny because he's written as Eric July, obsessed with respect.
Yeah.
So-
Oh, it's like you know what it reminds me of? Like in the 30s, when people were trying to compete with like Superman, they would like offhandedly they would write about how like, oh well, he has size changing powers, and then the next issue he wouldn't have those powers, and like next time around it would be a different set of powers. So it
Yeah.
seems like he's vaguely leaving the door open so that way like he can insert any
But,
powers
you
he
know,
wants because
with
he
different writers and different iterations, you could understand why characters would change over time. Eric July is the pure mastermind behind it, and by issue 1, nothing really made sense to begin with. You know, the very defining issue.
Yeah, from what I know of the first issue, okay, so like he retires from being a superhero because of an incident. Okay, that's good backstory right there, like to entice you a bit. It's like, oh, there's something that happened in his past, so that way and it stopped him from being a superhero anymore. And you know, his family, his sister has him come out of retirement, not for the sister, but for the family friend's daughter. It was weird.
Yeah, you don't really know who any of the characters are. The main villain is Darren, and you don't really know his powers either. You don't really know even why he's a bad guy. Why is Isom the good guy and Darren the bad guy? They both seem pretty bad to me.
Mm-hmm.
The motivation doesn't really seem moral whatsoever. There's no inherent established lesson or story of the day. It's just guy goes around punches people because he's disrespected.
Yeah. Okay. And Tyrone, I gotta ask this. Okay. So
Yeah.
let's say you and I start a comic book company, and we have a warehouse, and it is a place of business, and
Sure.
we have to list it publicly for it to be a place of business, and someone sees the address that has been posted publicly. Is it then doxing if someone goes to our place of business?
Well, you know, it's a massive warehouse, right? And I'm going to make this even clearer. I'm going to have a big text on the door that says Rippaverse Comics, just to let you know. Just to let you know, in case you were lost. This is the actual address. But the confusing thing was that the business address, for a while, wasn't even that building, which is why he even tried to claim it was doxing. The business address was the P.O. box, which is illegal. You know what I'm allowed to
If you're registering as a business.
Yes.
Oh
He
my.
registered the PO box because people looked, okay, why is this doxing? What's the actual address? And he copied the actual address on the website for a while into the Google Maps, and it came up with a fucking post office department. It's like, what the fuck? He just registered the PO box.
No, Eric July's so rich he bought the post office. All right.
No, I don't think that's the case. I think he just put the PO box.
What? Tyrone, are you disrespecting Eric July right now?
Yeah. You disrespected me.
You disrespecting me in my household? In my place of business?
If you don't know how Eric July talks, this is how he talks. It's not the most eloquent speaker of all time.
Oh yeah. No, trust me. We got a clip of him somewhere in here. But for now, I wanted to. We have discount quartering here. We have like dietary quartering on the
I gotta
screen
be
right
honest, there's so many people in this that all look like fucking quartering or variations of the quartering.
Yeah.
You know in Smash Bros where there's like different colors of all the characters? There's like different colors of quartering like throughout the entire thing.
Yeah,
Everyone's the many shades of quartering is what fucking
Or it's like it's into the quartering verse, you know. It's all the white guys who got rejected in high school. They're just like, the liberals are ruining everything.
But to be fair, this guy's got a better bookshelf than the quartering. I see Berserk Deluxe volume, the Black Horse variants.
Oh, I see
I've
like
got
an old
those.
school comic book in the background there.
Yeah, he's got, he's a big fan of Berserk. Berserk's actually amazing.
yeah.
You know?
Oh, probably would help if I unmuted.
Go so far
Okay.
over comic books at the end of the day. We're all supposed to be here in a space where we can come together over what we love.
We're supposed to spread positivity, guys. Come on now. We can't have this. Why are you being so negative? The next video. This is why the left is ruining comic books. By the way, yeah, all these guys are saying, how come you just can't be positive? Are the same people who became popular for doing nothing but negativity. And like that's not me whining. That's just simply stating the fact that like your entire business model on the internet is you complaining about stuff. And then when people complain about what you're doing, then it's not cool. Okay. Makes sense
Yeah,
there.
it's really,
Comics, books, science fiction, whatever the fandom is that you are interested in, we all should be able to celebrate that together. I did a great interview with former DC Comics head Dan DiDio yesterday, who was saying exactly that same thing. But people take things too far on the internet. They get really angry. They go out there and they do vicious things towards people where it...
Yeah, Riley did some really vicious things. like
Riley is
showing the
guy
super chats.
For context, he is the guy who went to the fucking Rippaverse HQ with giant Rippaverse letters written on it, claimed he was doxing and said, "Oh, I can't do that in Texas. Castle doctrines in Texas. I could get out and fucking shoot you in the face and it'd be perfectly legal." Because
By the way, folks,
Because that
Castle
was,
Doctrine only applies to one's home.
yeah, it was and then he tried to claim another thing where oh yeah, it was unlawful, and he could still get him shot. You could get him shot down in Texas. Like Texas is like the biggest. Like a lot of these people, they have this really weird construed view that fucking Texas is Mad Max. That they can just like go
Yeah.
and blast off like fucking immediately. Fucking like Boogie just stomps out the door and says like, with his dual pistols, "It's high noon, motherfucker!" Bang 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 bang.
Yeah.
Like, that's just happening all the time. It's not happening in Texas. You'd think these people know the law, but if they know the law, Eric July wouldn't have put the post PO box.
Yeah, no, yeah.
tends to be something that goes way over the line. And this happens all the time. I've seen it happen towards me. I mean, gosh, Heather Antos called security on me at SDCC, San Diego Comic Con, just because I was there reporting on comic books. I didn't do anything. It was absolutely crazy.
I'm gonna have to look into that situation. I don't know about that.
Now we're seeing this happening to Rippa. The haters have gone at
Rippa.
Rippa for a long, long time. Of course, because of this, someone even made a false flag situation where they alerted some Christian organization to ISOM being a
Yeah, some Christian organization. I don't know the name of it. Do you, Tyrone? I don't know.
International School of Ministry, ISOM.
Ah.
It's the same acronym. And for reference, what actually happened here is the International School of Ministry even went on their Twitter because they tried to claim that Dick and Vito had this guy called Obtuse Gnome, a guy who emailed the International School of Ministry and said, I am on report of TDS News. Then Eric July threatened and tried to waver around this imaginary offense of he was potentially going to do something to the pair of them. But what was really happening with this International School of Ministry, they even said on Twitter, no, I didn't see this. We don't like the thing though of if you type in ISOM, you find this so-called Christian superhero who beats up people and just kills them for no reason.
Yeah.
It's not. We don't really want this. Yeah, you have to change the name. How copyright works, very basic copyright works.
Yeah. By the way, we got a super chat from Teddy989 says it's not happening in Texas. It's happening in Florida. Well, Florida, Florida is like the definition of Mad Max. Florida's got their own set of problems, man. I'm just saying. I think you know how like people cut off like an infected arm at the source, like in a zombie apocalypse movie. I think that needs to happen with Florida soon. Yeah, exactly. Like we need to stop the infection before the bath salts spread across the United States.
Before everyone becomes Eric D. July.
Oh my god.
Will of D was a mistake in real life because he just turned into the
We're all gonna have superstar lawyers.
Rockstar lawyers. Rockstar lawyers.
Eat shit, motherfucker!
I'm there.
Trademark to try to go at Ripa, even legally, to mess with his business. But now it's bleeding over into real life, and this is something that nobody should have to deal with. All right. My name is John Delarose. I am a #1 best-selling author and award-winning comic creator. This is
who is on the Rippaverse payroll, by the way.
Yes.
My Subscribe Star right here. It's a Patreon alternative. I'm trying to create monthly comics and do so right on here.
Oh god, he is a comic book creator too. Lovely, lovely. Anyway, guys, enough for that guy's self-promotion. If you guys want to become a member and get exclusive content, you can join for just 99 cents.
The people here actually support our comics, support the day. We love you.
I don't care.
This guy was running anti-Eric July sort of Twitter account a while back.
How dare he run an anti-Eric July?
Because he got flagged down.
Yeah, no, he got
down. Because Riley made something called the Clipperverse, which no one's talking about. Like he got struck down falsely because it falls into parody.
Mhm.
So it's like, he started super chatting stuff like, oh yeah, do you need a warehouse? Stuff like this, and he was just ignoring them, and he had this like placid expression in his face, like he was about to actually like see Ronnie McNutt in the afterlife. maybe with the the security guard that he killed in one punch in ice.
Yeah. Oh my god. Teddy said some Christian organization. Now why are you bringing up the KKK? I don't know, some Christian organization.
ISOM could have been funny if it was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take on the KKK, like Helsing or whatever the fuck. You know what? Fuck all these motherfuckers. I'm taking on everyone. All the KKK, all these things. But instead he's just like, I'm just gonna beat up innocent people, and I'm a good guy because he disrespected me.
And he does it in a very Christian way too.
You have nothing. You have nothing, and you are gay. You have nothing, and you are gay.
Oh, strictly Patrick with the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, good sir.
Oh shit! What's that?
Eat shit, motherfucker!
Oh god, we're gonna get the George Carlin clip over and over again for a little bit.
Oh no!
Eat shit, motherfucker!
Gotta love George Carlin.
Yeah.
But nah, yeah.
Words I can't say on a TV set.
Oh my god, I should have made that
Eat shit,
clip.
motherfucker!
But no, Riley is he's a bit of a funny individual. He's a bit of a goofball. He was recently a guest on The Drunken Peasants with his I believe
shit,
girlfriend, and
Yes.
yeah, they were
Haven't seen
talking
that,
about
but
it.
I want to send you because I don't think you've got it up here. It's a clip of the Biggest Problem live show when Riley comes on and he talks about Eric July, because I don't think I see you haven't got this clip up here, but
Oh, please
after
send
he-
me that. Yeah.
I just sent you this here. This is when Riley comes on. It's only I've timestamped it. It's only about 2 minutes long, and he talks about some funny things. That's all I
Oh
can
my
say
god.
there.
Oh my god. Okay. Oh yeah, they were hosting this in the Deaf News Comedy Club. I completely
Yeah,
forgot
they
about
were.
this. Because
Pretty good
I
venue.
Yeah, because I was listening to the latest episode of the Dick Show, and they were talking about it. Then I was like, oh, they were hosting it at the Deaf Noodle Show. That's awesome. Let me one sec. I'm only working with one monitor at the moment, sadly.
Oh,
He's killing me. If I'm exsanguinating,
Even if he
I get
kills
to say
you,
it.
you
I get
have
the
to
pass.
not say that word.
No, because
Oh no! Oh
because
no!
he's like, if he's gonna meet the fate with Boogie 2988, be Frank Hasselt, but actually for real this time, high noon, and Eric July comes out and says, "You disrespected me," and blasts him in the face. What is Riley's last word gonna be? And on
You're really
Twitter,
gonna disrespect
he said it was
him.
gonna be, a a certain word.
Oh my lordy
A
lord!
six-letter word that comes after grape juice drinking.
Yeah. For some people, it just rolls off the tongue. And, for Twitter purposes, Tyrone is giving me the
And
pass
for
to say the word.
And for Eric July, it also slips off the tongue. He calls everyone it. Everyone he's gonna beat up. He calls everyone a punk ass bitch and motherfucker. And back where I fucking, you don't use that word. If you say that kind of shit, that means you actually want to fight someone. It's not something you just.
Yeah, no,
say
and,
normally.
the phrase
Eric
pull
July
up.
apparently comes from a gang background, but he didn't kill anyone.
No.
So, what does that mean?
Well,
if you know anything about a gang.
yeah, Tyrone from my skin may be as white as snow, but I have read and watched a few gangster documentaries back in my day, and I know there are only two ways that gangs usually initiate you, and that's by killing someone or doing some gang banging, if you know what I mean, gentlemen.
Yeah. Okay.
Eric July, he's not a homosexual though.
You know what that D stands for in his middle name? That's why he got disrespected and he had to vindicate it ever
Yeah.
since.
you have to make it seem organic. Like you just got shot, and you're like, oh, now all of a sudden,
Right.
can't
I can't premeditate my last word.
No.
Strike that from the record. Don't bring this into court, Eric, please.
I'm never getting a TV show. It's just not. Stop it.
Well, Vito, I think your conversations with Mr. Girl would prevent that, but I digress.
Jesus.
Well, he almost got
I wanna
one. They
present
tried to pitch one and they almost got one. They
No,
tried to do
I-
like a biggest problem TV show.
No,
But,
yeah,
like, he
yeah. I
had
think
to-
they've been
he
working
had
on
to make-
a script for it.
Yeah, but apparently it got like instantly rejected when they first tried to pitch it because he was on his like webcam or something and he had all his anime figurines in the background and it wasn't like professional and like he was like, oh yeah, it's just normal, whatever the fuck, and he didn't see anything wrong with it.
Oh my
Which,
god.
There isn't inherently wrong with it unless you're trying to be formal and pitch a show where it's immediately going to get criticized. It's like, yeah, I can't work with this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's when you need the bookshelf.
That's when you need to fucking switch it out to the quarterings books you never read.
Yeah, or do what they do in the Zoom meetings and like do that crappy blur effect on.
Yeah.
This to you on
Okay.
behalf of the Dick Show and the Biggest Problem in the Universe and subsidiaries and our news organizations. It's the Employee of the Month.
He's one employee of the month. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Because he tried to claim that fucking obtuse gnome was working for him. That's what Eric July did. So
Yeah.
it's like, fuck it.
Well, I'm not gonna play the clip here because I got the YouTube link up, but the Rippaverse Goalposts is an account dedicated to all things Rippaverse, and they're 100% for Eric July, and they tweeted this out. Dude, detractors are putting more and more effort into these parodies. Who's funding them? I think it's a cabal.
Oh my god. Who's funding them? What does that undertone mean?
Yeah. Well, this is the high budget that Riley's put into with the ripoff verse. Actually, he's admitted it on the Drunken Peasants that he spent thousands and thousands of dollars on the puppets, on the voice acting, on the backgrounds and illustrations, as you'll see from this video. I mean, this intro alone cost him $5,000 to make.
It would cost Eric July $5,000 to make.
Yeah, because he had to go to the superstar editors.
Listen up,
He would
people.
have to.
It
You would
goes
have
like,
to make a warehouse just to record that intro.
Yeah. Oh my
Just so he could,
god.
like-
Look at this puppet. Look at the exquisite design of this puppet here.
I like the lips.
I know. Yeah. And look at the shoulder hair too. Like, oh my gosh, so much detail went into this. This puppet cost thousands of dollars.
like this.
The eyes
When
aren't
I was just a
bloodshot enough.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Eat shit, motherfucker!
Oh my god,
You
Teddy.
know when everyone was complaining about like the Black Dwarf and the Lord of the Rings fucking reboot?
Oh
This
my
is what I
God,
imagine
yeah.
it looks like. This fucking puppet right there.
Oh my god, Teddy with another $9.99. Turn around. I can say the word. I really want to give Eric July a piece of my mind. Oh no.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Oh no, Eric July is gonna say that we sent him after him now. This is gonna be great.
Don't worry, I do work for TDS News. So.
Oh yeah.
small kid. My daddy ran out on me, and I grew up without a father. No shock there. Now, obviously, this gave me a huge affirmation complex that was so bad that I developed a permanent need for everyone to think that I'm special, even though I've got no skills, no talent.
Yeah, by the way, they hired the best Eric July impersonator to do this. This wasn't done with AI whatsoever.
Definitely can't write, and as it pertains, absolutely no creative abilities whatsoever. So I retreated myself into comics and really haven't grown up since. And we're not even talking about the mature highbrow comics. Hell no. I mean, real goofy mainstream superhero comics for kids. See, my completely deluded and aggressive attitude is wild. In my mind, if I can shout loud enough and long enough that I am a certain thing that I want to be, then enough people just might believe me. I've been nothing but a basic ass YouTuber for the past 16 years. And even now at 33 years old, I still haven't grown up. I still
This is amazing.
So I think we went over this. The whole reason why Eric July created ISOM and the Rip of This comics in the first place was because he said he didn't like the fact that a lot of superheroes, particularly black superheroes, were just this character, but they're black now. Captain
Yeah,
America.
There is some unfortunate he's went back on, which is kind of because he's trying out to pander to a new audience. For example, he used to say Miles Morales was like a good interpretation of Spider-Man. Now he doesn't think that. Now he's thinking the opposite, and he just calls it a token.
Of course.
So there's, you can't have, you can't just have this opinion now. You just have to pander to this entire audience because it doesn't matter what his opinion is. He's being supported because it's like he's seen as a way that isn't the mainstream. It's anti-woke marketing by trying to claim that you're saving the culture by buying this. You're saving comic books by buying this. Any industry that's been corrupted by these people, that realistically, the reason why they've even been corrupted in the first place is because to even work in these institutions now, you need this like bogus degree from a university, and all these universities have been corrupted, so you come out of here politically tilted in a direction that's going to favor the producers and investors from Silicon Valley, who are just brought up all the things because all their equities from China now. So what comes out of it is just this shock that seems like it's wasting all its time, but they're really getting approved from it. So you have these idiots like Eric July saying, "Oh, this is awful. I need to make my own," which is, a valid response. The problem is, Eric July can't write. He doesn't really know what a good comic book is. He doesn't really know what the structure is, and his investors and his marketing strategy is based on not reading it. So the way you really set up and produce a economy of things that will defeat the inherent mainstream is have comics sold on the merit of their inherent ability. Otherwise, you reduce what it is. Because if you reduce what it is like this, then people will see all these other comic books and go, "Oh yeah, I already have Eric July's thing. I'm already supporting it. I don't actually have any interest in this, and I won't buy anything up further than this." So when people say this rhetoric of like it's saving the comic book industry, no, it's saving Eric July's warehouse from being funded.
Which, by the way,
otherwise-
he didn't need to make the comics. Like Vito and Dick have pointed out so many ways that he could have like more cost-effective methods in order to like produce the comic book, which I think
He doesn't
Vito's
need a
taking with his
warehouse.
own comic book.
he doesn't need the warehouse. He can just have it self-shipped from his house. There's like no reason. He's not even shipping like any. It's or just he doesn't need a warehouse. It's like a big performative thing where it's like, okay, I have to buy this big like industrial complex just so I can sell basic comic books that are upcharged from like an obscenely low price.
No, yeah, and another thing too is the 90s. If anyone's familiar with the 90s era of comic books, particularly like early to mid 90s, it was a crapshoot for a lot of comics. There was because of the speculator boom, there was a whole wave of comics that were just crap. But at least to some degree, the people who made those comics, especially like the Image-made comics, they knew what they were doing because they had worked in the industry beforehand. And, they had some talent behind their works. Eric has no experience with the comic book industry. And, that's fine if, like, he just wants to be, like, the figurehead, but he, like, it has to be his character. It has to be,
because it is Eric Jai, that is the problem, which is why he can never detach himself from it. What I see as a popular sentiment from a lot of comic book fans, modern comic book fans, is inclination on switching over to manga, which I don't understand why it needs to be a switch. I think it can be, you can enjoy both things if they are.
I mean, yeah, that's what I've done.
Yeah, but, the thing with manga, or at least even manga today, they don't have any of, an existing political narrative, which is what they claim about modern comic books, which is, you can find modern comic books that don't have that in there, albeit the ones that are only getting shouted out are the ones that are always getting shitted on, so it's not really supporting that industry. But, they're not sold on the ability of, look how fucking, we're destroying this inherent medium, we're destroying the American comic book industry, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
no,
it's manga been sold on that. It's been sold on like, okay, what genre is it? What is this? You see an incredible panel in Berserk and you want to read it, right?
Yeah.
You see like, or like Pun Pun, you see a fucking like really like, how the fuck did someone draw that in black and white? It's like, oh, better read this shit. You don't look at fucking Isom. It's like, oh, look at the fucking black superhero with a fucking crucifix on his cock, but he's saving the comic book industry. It's like, oh yeah, I want to read this. It's like, no, I want to have this to say that I'm saving an industry and never read it. So yeah, and I feel like I feel like there is really easy markets of people that enjoy that kind of stuff that you can market towards without trying to claim that you're the fucking savior of something that you're really not helping whatsoever.
Yeah, and like another thing too is like bad writing is one thing, right? But I think the reason why a lot of people just don't get into comics anymore is because, well, one, print media overall is having a hard time keeping up, and let's go back to the manga and comic comparison. If I buy Volume 1 of Berserk, or I buy Volume 1 of Demon Slayer, I don't need any supplementary material in order to enjoy that work.
That's another point as well, where it's like, you need to know all this stuff, and it's like talking to one of these things, and additionally, all the iterations done by different authors are different interpretations of the character, and it's like, where do I start? And it's like, you have to go on this and try to...
No, yeah, for example,
to understand.
Let's say, because they did this a couple years ago, they created like two new characters. One was like a Spider-Man knockoff, the other one was a Damage. His name was Damage, but he was like a Hulk knockoff, DC. So like, DC creates a new character. Issue 1 isn't actually the origin of that character. Issue 1 is the beginning arc of his own series, but in actuality, his origin happened in a event that recently happened, and so you have to read the event in order to understand what's going on. But if you want to fully understand the event, you gotta buy all the tie-ins for it.
Exactly.
And like, if you just say like if you're like me and you say F it and you want to wait for like the omnibus, which is like the collection of all the stories that relate to that event, you're paying well over $100.
And I could see how someone could say, "Oh well, isn't the manga like a lot of shonens like this as well, where they have information where you have to read like interview like specific interviews by the mangaka to even understand additional context of what is actually happening outside the story. Like for example, if you just watch the One Piece anime, there will be things that you don't understand from the manga. But I do think it's different because you can just go from sequentially episode 1 or chapter 1 and just go through the entire thing and have a very good understanding of it. Well, it's comic book. It's like, what is episode 1? And also, a lot of the time, it doesn't even go sequentially. You could go through like entire era of 10 years, and then it's like you don't know anything about the character because in the last like fucking 5 years, it's completely changed.
Oh yeah, like oh my god, especially when they want to change like the status quo for a little bit.
Eat shit, motherfucker!
Oh my god, oh my god. Eric July tipped $1.
Amazing.
Yeah. Like, let me check because that might have been a message. Let me check
Sure.
stream elements real quick. One moment. But yeah, like there's like the problem is there isn't just like one issue with comic books as a whole. There are a lot of factors. Oh my god.
Yes.
Eric July says, I don't know why you gave that teddy guy permission to call me the N-word. That's not okay. Please do better. But yeah, like obviously like wokeness in comics is a little bit annoying. Like I think like one thing that people point out is like okay, so you know how they aged up Superman's kid and they made him like the new Superman for a bit?
Yes, I am aware of that.
And they gave him a pink-haired boyfriend because
yes,
that Superman's bisexual.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
Yeah, but that's like one part of the comic that people hyper fixate on when in reality that whole story arc just kind of sucked. It's not purely
I
about the
haven't
wokeness.
read it, so I can't confirm, but it's like I don't imagine it's very good if that's the only takeaway everyone says. So if the only thing people remember of it is their tokenization, I can't really perceive it being that good. Or it's like, oh, what do you remember? Oh, he had a fucking boyfriend, he had pink hair. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
What can't have been that good?
Well, okay, so does anybody know who Nick Rekieta is? If you guys don't know who Nick Rekieta is, he's an actual practicing lawyer. And, you know, he can kind of give legal insight on certain stuff. I mean, he was most famous for his streams involving the Kyle Rittenhouse situation. And he actually knows Eric and he knows Dick Masterson. And he's remained relatively neutral up until this point.
Yeah, Nick Rekieta's first video is on the Maddox versus Dick Masterson lawsuit. That's what got Nick Rekieta to even start uploading in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
But he's kind of grown into his own community of people, kind of like Eric July. He talks to these guys quite a lot, and a lot of people in that kind of sphere, I don't know what you would call them, the quartering clone sphere, of just people that complain about everything all day.
Yeah,
It's kind of known in that. So he's in a place where Nick, I was saying Nick Rekieta, not near something else, but Eric
God.
July was saying stuff like, "Oh, you wouldn't talk to Dick Masterson like this," which is Dick Masterson doesn't act like this, so I don't have to act like this.
Yeah, well, he's also Nick's also got on record that he's kind of disagreed with how like Dick's gone about some stuff, but like they're able to remain civil.
Yeah.
You don't think that anybody? You say you don't like that when people try to fuck with other people's business.
No, I don't.
Okay, so is your claim that your partner or your friend, as you put it, so you don't think he's
Very
tried
articulate man.
His partner, your partner or friend.
If he was just saying, I was just like podcast bitch, man. I don't know.
I don't know about that, man.
fuck with someone?
I don't know.
It depends on what exactly you mean by that.
No,
but
I
He
wanna
sounds
know
like a
what
fucking heroin addict you find under the bridge.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? This guy's the business owner.
Yeah.
This is the guy who's like camping outside of the warehouse in the defensive architecture that he put up himself.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you're saying that you don't think that you see it. I want to know how you define fucking with someone's business.
So what I define as fucking with someone's business
Mm-hmm.
in this context, because of what I've seen, is in relation to the charity shit and then the ISOM shit where someone was contacted like a kind of Karen to get them into action against you. I hate that shit.
So yeah. There's point one for Eric.
He's talking about the obtuse gnome.
Yeah.
And I gotta be honest, I disagree with Eric July. Not Eric, but with Nick Ricada here. Because the obtuse gnome, yeah, well, it is a troll. It is very obviously like not Dick and Vito behind the account. The account has existed for 6 years, and if you really want to believe fucking Vito has existed on Twitter of this alt account called fucking obtuse gnome for 6 years. But even then, technically it's not legal. I don't like that if that was the instigating factor. But then you see the International School of Ministry said they didn't even see the email before they made the decision to sue Eric July.
Yeah, and like they
So
no,
like,
it
what
was
did they really do?
But if I remember correctly, they said we didn't initially want to sue you. We wanted like this to like end amicably, and you just went like you fired off a round.
Because it's too similar. You have a Christian comic book with like crucifix on his cock, and then you type in ISOM, and there's like constant Twitter threads from like 2021 of people thinking they're somewhat linked, of people thinking like, oh yeah, he's Christian because his name is ISOM, the International School of Ministry. ISOM was not an actual word. Like,
It's an
like,
abbreviation.
did he just? Yes, it's not a word that just exists. So it's like, oh, why is his name ISOM? I don't know. I think it's for the Rockstar rules.
Yeah. Oh my god. Panic pun with a 5. I find it so funny. Eric kind of did this to himself by reacting to people who just said his comic book sucked. Yeah. Because the whole reason why Dick's fan base even like went at him the way that they did was because of how he reacted to Dick's criticism of it. If Eric July really wanted to, I mean, especially
for a while, he refused
shit,
to acknowledge him. He called him, well, Buster Baxter has lied about me and my business.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, no, it's like you don't even have to acknowledge them that way. Just completely ignore it. Like, why do you hyperfixate on everyone's criticism of your comic?
And
you
he
know?
would call him like fucking really bad things. It's like, you need a pull up, motherfucker. Yeah, whatever, Buster Baxter.
But I didn't mean that in the sense that I would kill you. I meant that in the sense that we could have a conversation.
And then he went on a stream. Dick went on a stream when I think this is the first time he ever talked to him.
Oh yeah, it was Yellow
Eric
Flash.
July was on there. Yellow Flash was also on there. It was his panel show,
Mhm.
and that panel show went disastrous because Yellow Flash was he was calling fucking Dick a pedophile because Vito exists, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what Vito said, it's just because Vito exists. And he's like, why is Vito a pedophile? And he says, well, I wouldn't be saying that kind of stuff Vito was saying. Why is he a pedophile? And it's like, he can't give a justification. Like, Young Flash can't defend himself. He freezes
Eat
up.
shit,
He just
motherfucker!
just because he's asked why. Because no one in that fucking community is asked why when they just fucking sling pedophile allegations at everyone.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. He said some sus stuff before, but I don't think Vito is weird in that way. I just think he likes to make arguments for people. Eric July tips another $1.
We and everyone at the fucking Council of Dyslexia had to come together and misread what he said.
Yeah.
And said like, he's calling himself a pedophile. It's like, no, you idiot.
Also, too, it is weird that he used the royal we. Like, no one uses the royal we anymore.
Well, he does, and there's
yeah.
instances of Twitter doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're being like, I think even if you be incredibly uncharitable, there's no reality where he's just admitting to be a pedophile. There is
No,
like,
yeah,
a valid
no, yeah.
explanation. You can even go through his tweets and see like other uses of the royal we, like before.
No, yeah, like
We as a community, or whatever.
Let me clarify. I don't think he is one. But I don't think he does any. I don't think he does a favor to himself.
Sense. It doesn't even make sense in the context that you like where he's just confessing. It's like,
yeah,
no, he's obviously not talking about himself in that example. But
let's see. Eric July tips another $1 and says, "The way you people talk about me is sickening. The white boy I get, but the fellow black allows."
Amazing.
Oh my gosh. How can you allow this, Tyrone?
Wow. Young Ripper 59. Why is his name even Young Ripper 59? Where did that even come from?
That is like
I
an
didn't know that.
Xbox gamer tag if I ever saw one before.
Young Ripper? He's not young, and he's not a ripper, and where's those 5 nines come from?
He's not young, he's 33.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
so-
Calling for
All
people
right,
to be
so
canceled
your
and all that
partner,
shit. I hate it.
so your partner did that with the.
Again, he's trying to associate Nick with Dick, like your partner. Like, have Nick and Dick Masterson ever formed a partnership? I don't think so.
It's just go by association
Mhm.
because he's so used to having this validation when anyone asks him. His neutral response is, yes, I recommend this comic book based on the virtue that Eric July did it, and Eric July is Eric July.
Mhm.
That is the virtue that why you should support this. And you doing this is not you just supporting a comic book. No. It is you supporting an entire industry that's being taken apart at the seams and it's being destroyed. And Eric July is secretly the savior. So it doesn't matter if you don't like this. This is step one. And it will get better. It's just step one. You have to support something that isn't actually good. When have you ever heard that before? Support something that isn't actually good. Oh, I remember now. People who fucking endorsed the Ghostbusters female movie in 2016. You should see it because, the change. We need to see more women taking lead roles in movies.
But that was the woke mob, you see, okay? I'm Eric July. I'm not part of the woke mob. I'm a black libertarian, and I think
And if
we're
you
going to
just
do
take any
good here.
step back, you realize that these arguments are the same arguments. So, this is pretty interesting. So, you want to know why they're the same argument? Because as soon as money gets involved, and as soon as they actually have to appease and pander to a demographic, they just want to hear the same thing over again. That's why.
Yeah.
Yellow Flash the retard can exist on the internet by doing the exact same thing every single day, virtually making the people who are watching more miserable, but they just eat it all up because they just want to hear that shit.
Yeah,
They just want to go to him and watch him complain about shit, even if they never even fucking consume a comic book ever again in their entire life.
Yellow Flash was the guy who was like, "Who's the real Spider-Man?" And he showed a picture of Peter Parker and Miles Morales. They're both Spider-Man.
Yeah, he got in a debate with Aiden and got crushed over that.
Yeah. Now, obviously, you're going when the phrase Spider-Man pops in your head, you're gonna think of the Spider-Man you're more familiar with. Obviously, more old school heads are more familiar with Peter Parker, but more recent kids, especially the ones who have been growing up with Into the Spider-Verse movies, are gonna think of Miles Morales.
Because fucking Gator tried to say oh yeah, the reason I hate Nicholas Diorio so much is because he tried to insinuate, he tried to fucking get a cancel mob on Yellow Flash. It's like, what do you mean? And it was the tweet where Nicholas Diorio just tweeted out that.
It's just him making fun of you.
Yeah, and Aiden kind of fried him in a fucking debate over that. I saw that recently.
Oh my god, people, like. What people need to realize now, like, it's like obviously the left does pearl clutch, but the right people just as much pearl clutch because, like, it's always, you always have to, these people always want to be a victim of something. Yeah, you don't like my comic book. Oh, you're victimizing me. You're trying to destroy my business, my livelihood.
It's like you have to be an inherent movement because you're not buying the comic book. You're not buying the work. You're buying the idea behind it that supports this entire industry that you've never even participated in. People want to actually feel like they're doing a good thing. And this mindset has like fucked up everything. Remember all that false positivity? Everyone wants to conceive themselves at all time they're doing a good thing because they want to believe they are a good person.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I hate this. I hate this because it's so easily manipulated, and people like fucking Eric July is like, "Oh, what do you mean you say in the comic book industry these fucking buys?" And it makes you all like, see like, "Oh yeah, everything in very black and white in literal sense," where you have to go like, "Oh yeah, fucking Dick and Vito are the bad guy, and Eric July is the good guy, and he's being mercilessly attacked." But I think people see things in hopefully a lot more nuance in that, and just see Eric July, you know, as a self-insert, obsessed with respect, and he's been disrespected just like his comic book character. So he has to lash out and potentially put, you know, do what the comic book character does and just fly away, I guess.
And just punch everyone, and then he'll show
Yes.
him. He'll show his dad. I mean, he'll show Dick.
Yes.
With the trademark issue.
He did that with the trademark.
Yeah,
issue.
yeah. He specifically messaged. He tweeted at the CEO, and he was like, "I hope you consider, like a little Karen, like you just said. I hope you consider that, you know, he did X, Y, and Z. He specifically did that
After they filed the lawsuit, right?
Yes,
Yeah, after they filed the lawsuit.
yes.
Okay, yeah. You're in a legal action, man. He's commenting on it. Like,
Yeah, he's not going to be for you, Eric. After you go
Yeah,
after
it's
him,
super
he's not
sad.
going to be for you if you're in a lawsuit. It's very simple.
All right, so all right. So you don't look at that like trying to fuck with someone's business, trying to essentially instigate it is what it is. Because we haven't been served.
There's nothing to instigate. It's already been instigated by the company.
All Eric July can do here is an emotional argument. Watch what he actually says here, and I want you to pay attention.
Okay.
I actually pay close attention to what he says here.
Or
It's
anything
nonsense.
like that. Essentially trying to instigate that. You don't see that as that trying to fuck with someone's business.
dude, if I said that everyone who talked about something in a negative way involving someone,
That's not what it is that I'm saying. We're not talking about. We're talking about him
shit, motherfucker!
Like a
Quantum TV tips. Quantum TV tips $1. So I just heard you guys been talking about Eric July. I can't say I'm surprised. I always knew you were racist. I'm just disappointed in my fellow black. Is this going to be all Teddy's material? It's just
This is amazing.
Karen tweeting directly at this CEO of whoever is involved in this trademark dispute, trying to instigate the continuation of the lawsuit.
instigate.
he's trying to instigate the continuation of the lawsuit. Dick
Listen to
has no
what-
power over that. He's not in like the CEO of ISOM's ear. I mean, like, you know, Eric July, we need to sue him bad. Like,
Listen to what Ricada says here. This is
okay,
so
okay,
amazing.
yeah.
Yeah.
The continuation of the lawsuit.
Correct, because we haven't been
Was the
served.
lawsuit ending?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't. Nobody's been served.
So, but like the lawsuit,
It's still in
was-
limbo. It's still in limbo. It hasn't. It's still in that limbo phase. Nobody's
Okay,
been served. We haven't gone to court over it. None of that has happened.
Good. I hope it costs you
Right.
as
All right.
little
So
as
back to the
possible.
point, though. What would you consider that? You wouldn't consider that trying to actively fuck with someone's business.
Had you guys already been fighting for like 2 months at this point?
I'm not. No, so I wouldn't consider that. I'm asking you. Can you
you
answer
wouldn't
the question?
consider that?
No, not at all. I consider it that I would more so accurately putting it is that this guy has an issue with me, and that's all that it is.
Hadn't you guys
but
had a
can you
fight
answer the
on
question for me?
Flashcast already at this point, and then it kept going after that?
Say what?
You guys had already talked on Flashcast prior to that, and then the shit kept going after, right?
Yeah, because he kept talking down.
He kept talking.
He's been disrespected.
He
You don't
kept-
understand, John.
wait,
He's been
he-
disrespected. He's omitting the fact that not only has Derek July called Vito a pedophile before, he's he smeared all his business, called him Bucks the Backler, told him to pull up, threatened to sue him, and then when he goes back, it's like, oh no, haven't you been back and forth for like 2 months? It's like, no, he's disrespected me. You don't get it. It's disrespected
Yeah.
me, so all my actions are justified. No, but Eric, haven't you for the past 2 months been going back and forth? You literally told him to pull up. You threatened a slap action. You threatened a slap. You threatened a lawsuit at them. I don't know. They disrespect me, man.
They keep talking
disrespect me.
down.
And it's like, oh yeah, has the lawsuit actually? It's like, no, it's just in the limbo phase. It's like, then you're threatening a lawsuit, Eric. It's like, and Eric, fucking Nick Ricada, it's like in complete disbelief. This guy has like no literacy whatsoever. He can't do anything. He's retarded.
I can see how frustrated Nick, because he's trying to be nice. He said it's good. Because after he said it's in limbo, he said good. I hope it costs you as little as possible.
And also, there's also an incredibly ironic thing of Eric July calls himself a libertarian anarcho-capitalist.
Wait, and a libertarian anarcho-capitalist? Okay, so like, does that mean
Yes.
he's like for zero government intervention when it comes to the market, laissez-faire type stuff?
In terms of copyright law, it means that it realistically means that there is no inherent copyright law. He doesn't think there should be inherent copyright law in for example, comic book industry.
But
So
like
if we're
he's
go- if we're
striking
going to
down
apply
people for
this-
parodying his comic book.
Yes.
My brain's hurting, Tyrone. My brain's hurting.
And he is in a lawsuit with a guy, and he says serial releases. So it's it's just a frame of mind. It's just the thing he has to grift with. He's not actually an anarcho-capitalist, because if he was, then he couldn't justify any of the things he's actually doing right now. It's
Political labels are just that. They're just labels, so that way people can fit in somewhere. That's all it is.
I mean, I prefer actual definitions of what someone is rather than what I used to than the old like fucking thing on the left and right, because what those terms mean have been so watered down. But you would think that okay, someone who describes himself with an economical position, he's a business owner, has a warehouse, and produces a comic book as the CEO of such industry, you'd think okay, maybe on the economic side he would understand what's happening. Well, this guy who, believes in zero copyright law is in a copyright dispute over the IP, for naming his company ISOM. Don't you think that's incredibly ironic?
Yeah,
Just
it
for a
is.
second. Yes. So
'Cause-
then this
'cause-
guy, who's in this entire dispute, gets on call with a lawyer and says, no, you don't understand, Nick Recader. I've been disrespected by Dick and Vito. It doesn't matter what I've done the last 2 months. I've been disrespected. It's his entire emotional argument, like the character Isom, his self-insert character that I have to keep repeating over and over again. It's all about respect.
No, yeah, and I don't. I think it's probably somewhere in here, but we probably won't get to it. Nick asks him, "Oh, did you have no trespassing signs on the business lot? So that way, like, if people do enter, it is trespassing. You can legally take them off your property." He goes, "No, my lawyers advised me not to do that."
Yeah, because you can't do that on a property which is public. Public warehouse that has a logo on the front of it. It's not somebody
down.
Oh, down.
Nick, yeah,
Sorry.
down. Yeah,
Talking down. The talking down.
Dude, sometimes I mishear shit. I was just trying to clarify. Dude, is it fucking with someone's business?
Can you answer the question? Yeah,
no, I don't think that's fucking with someone's business.
All right, so
I
you
don't
don't
think
I
think
that's
like
in
how in
way.
Eric July's head, he perceived this conversation as like, oh, I've got him on the ropes here. Nick Recader's been stumped for words. I'm winning. I'm destroying him like Isom destroys the fucking security guard. But in
Yeah.
reality, it's just like, he's just saying the exact same emotional argument over and over again that he's in complete disbelief of what's actually happening. But I love that the arrogance here.
Yeah, Squatchin says, "But Tyrone, they heard his fifis."
He disrespected me.
Yeah. "Tyrone, I think you disrespected me on my show. I think I should take you off."
Amazing.
Going into a lawsuit is fucking with someone's business.
You're already in the lawsuit.
I understand that, but he's trying to instigate them into continuing it.
Do you think whatever the title of like the leader for ISOM is, like the International School of Ministry, do you think they're constantly looking at Dick Masterson's Twitter account being like, okay, he's saying we need to go after Eric July harder. We need to go after him harder. Like what?
Yeah, maybe his name's Darren. That's how the bad guy in fucking he has zero creativity. He has zero anything. Usually, people with like a lack of creativity who are in like a field like this have a really diligent work schedule, have a very structured thing, and they're not head of the creative department of it.
Yeah.
Eric July is like head of everything, and he's bad at everything as well.
Do you know he has a
Like, he's-
band? And he's creating his own Rippaverse news network.
Oh no.
Yes. And this guy worked for the Blaze. Just I think Darren's the name of like a high school bully that he used to have, and he just can't get over it. I think that's what it is.
It on
I
because
don't fucking know.
The specific message that he responded to is the guy saying that, well, we don't want to go to court, yada yada yada, and that's whatever that is, what it is. He's specifically saying that he
Eat
wants
shit,
him to consider
motherfucker!
X, Y, and Z.
Oh my god, Ethan! Oh yeah, the very real Ethan Ralph. Tips with "Don't listen to Quantum TV and Eric July. I support you guys. I'm so funny that my fellow My fellow whites are finally standing up to the evil. I'm happy Tyrone is helping. God bless.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god.
Z. You don't consider your partner like a Karen contacting the CEO trying to instigate a lawsuit trying to fuck with someone's business.
Did you accuse him of starting that lawsuit
No.
prior to him tweeting that?
No.
He did. He did with his video. He's like, he didn't name him by name, but he mentioned the show that the obtuse gnome was apparently like the news part of the news
TDS
organization.
News.
Yeah.
TDS and TBITU News, which stands for biggest problem in the universe.
Yeah. He said these people are responsible for making this lawsuit, so I'm gonna go after them.
It's very funny when someone decides to like defend themselves to a lawyer. I always find, you have the most interesting kind of people. What I mean by interesting kind of people, they all have the arrogance of Eric July when they always believe they know the law better than a lawyer. There's never any humility, and it makes sense why Eric July even got into this lawsuit to begin with, because there is no compromise, there is no humility, and there is nothing but Eric July. It has to be his way, even though he doesn't know anything of how anything happened. Oh yeah, fucking Riley has to, he has to be arrested because this is how law works in Texas.
Yeah.
Law doesn't work like that in Texas, Eric July. Well,
he has to be shot because of Castle Doctrine.
yeah.
No?
No.
You didn't say that he and Vito were behind that?
No.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
I think your timeline might be off on that one, brother.
No, I think your timeline might be off on that one because if you
Very
watch
well
the
could be.
video,
It is you. That's basically what happened then. I do what I want.
No, you. For real.
I never make a all I did was connect that specific email to them.
That's insinuating. You literally, oh my god, that's literally you saying that they have a connection to this and might be responsible for this, Eric.
He said Vito was behind the account. He's an idiot.
Yeah, and then he used a screenshot of
He
of
said
Vito.
the fact that Vito was emailing him back and forth. It's like, you see here, Vito is emailing himself. No, that's right. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna say a bunch of easily refutable claims to a lawyer. It's it's only a shame that Recader unfortunately didn't do enough research here, because if he had the exact definitive examples, then he could have just immediately just ended buck broken Eric July like right there.
Oh
and
my
then.
god, yeah.
But he didn't choose to do that. He chose to just take Eric July at least somewhat at his word while criticizing what he said with a somewhat level of skepticism, which really ensures that you can never really truly be wrong. But if I was interviewing fucking Eric July, I would have went a lot harder. I would have went like the first time Dick interviewed Eric July,
original
he
contact
turned it into a screaming match.
Yeah,
because
no.
I think any conversation with Eric July will always turn into a screaming match.
No, yeah, and then he shows a clip of Dick saying that he would go after the charity thing because he wants to go after Eric July. Guys, I don't know if you guys know this, but did you know Dick Masterson is a character online and that his real name isn't Dick Masterson?
Yes.
Did you know that the whole point of Dick's character is that he is a dick and will say absolutely anything to make someone mad because it is a character?
The
It
person
is a
emailed to them.
character, but also there is like it's not always he like bends in and out of it like all the time. It's kinda
Yeah,
like Sam
I
Hyde.
think-
It's like
and-
watching a Sam Hyde live stream where Sam Hyde like bends in and out with the character all the time.
Initially, it was
can go
it
for-
definitely was a character when he was doing like the male guru, like I hate women
on,
and everything.
On his like menabetterthanwomen.com website, he would answer the voicemails in the character.
Mhm.
It's all a different thing. But he's been in so many things now that he can just weave in and out of it pretty easily.
But he's entertaining,
Yeah.
It's something that Eric July is.
Because the whole thing, if you want to be on the internet, you kind of have to be entertaining, and the best way you can do that is by, getting into that mode.
Yeah.
Right,
I think
so prior
everyone
to-
has some form of character that they perform in when they do anything online, you know?
Yeah.
You know, I think everyone inherently changes themselves to perform in front of a crowd, to be a inherent character, to say things they wouldn't be for the terms of entertainment. I don't understand why that has to be taken incredibly literally.
Oh no, whenever I enter a room, Tyrone, I always say, hello there, folks, it's I, Nerdy John, the nerdiest radio host on YouTube. I always say that.
Amazing.
To him tweeting the people,
Correct,
right?
correct, yeah.
Okay, so my timeline's not off.
No, your timeline is off,
just-
and you're saying
No,
you're
you just
claiming,
put-
you're
No, your timeline is off.
claiming that
Issue
I
with
said
my name of-
no. You're trying to you're making a claim that I explicitly stated that. I wouldn't be so.
I didn't explicitly state, I insinuated. There's a difference.
So foolish as to do that.
So Dick and Vito didn't do this then.
I don't know.
Eat shit,
motherfucker!
Oh my god.
Now he's went back on it. He's went from, okay, this guy's a member of the news team, Dick and Vito, to, I don't know, they did it, I don't know, we got a badass over here. Fucking
Tariq Nasheed tips $1. Now what the F is this crap? I'm glad Tyrone is making money from this obvious white supremacist, but can't say I'm happy about this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't.
Look at the faces that Nick's making throughout this entire conversation. He's completely dumbfounded by Eric's logic.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Potentially. Nonetheless,
You're
let's
gonna
not-
sit here.
all
You're
right.
gonna sit here and honestly fucking say maybe now.
That's
Like you don't know.
What did I? We can. You want to watch the video now, Nick? Because I never explicitly say that it is that was what it was that they did. What I will say is that, again, the guy that sent that goofy ass email that tried to, again, gay op his way into kind of a lawsuit, someone took credit for it nonetheless, and that's what specifically happened. That's what it is that I'm saying. I'm connecting them.
He's making the connections. Eric July is going to unravel the Illuminati that's before him.
I don't know what's happening anymore.
Yeah. Toxic Dome says, you're talking to a lawyer. Who are you fooling? Yeah. No, this is a lawyer. No. You're forgetting something. It's a lawyer who's disrespecting him, who's not agreeing with him. That's the important part.
There was nothing that I said
it's
in that
so-
regard.
It's just the same argument. It's going to be the same argument fucking hour. It's brained out. You listen to this and you're going to come out like Eric July. You're going to be coming. I'm going to be coming at this only making emotional arguments. Maybe I'm going to lose the ability to talk, John. I don't know. The right side of life is taking the best time. Sorry, that's fucking the inner Eric July is coming out of me there.
Yeah, no. The next Kill the Sabbath, you're just gonna hear Tyrone say, "All right, so this person, Austin, no power. All right, he's very disrespectful to me. He went at the spawn dial."
Next KTS is gonna be fucking. Okay, I'm gonna have to give myself an extra chromosome to even become Eric July because I've been worn down by this.
Yeah. Well, this is
threshold for anything. It's just.
This is the video young Ripa made about 5 days ago addressing this whole situation.
Successes over the last nearly 20 years, but nothing obviously compares to the Rippaverse. Though
Nothing compares to the Rippaverse. Wait, what was that?
I've had my successes over the last nearly 20 years, but nothing.
Oh, okay. He's comparing his own success. All right. I was about to say, you compare your success to Marvel because he got billions of dollars in movies.
Obviously compares to the Rippaverse. Though I'm the same person, the situation is different, and many people will have trouble understanding that. But in certain aspects of my life, I have to move differently, and there's going to be challenges associated with that in terms of the adjustment. Perhaps this will also give you some insight on what to expect should you have to experience the same thing. The big thing that changes everything is that I went from having a small circle of people that help produce content to now employing or contracting dozens of people. So,
Which he doesn't need to employ, by the way.
Yes.
It's going to sound mean. He doesn't need to employ that many people. What you need is...
Even someone as dumb as Eric July could fucking just handle himself with that. It's very simple.
Oh, yeah. And, like, didn't he also make, like, other books in the ISOM universe now? Like, I think, what was it? Like, there's, like,
He's
some
made
type of
other issues
magic
of it.
detective girl or something?
Maybe. I'm only familiar enough with Ice on #1.
But like,
only
but
one
the
I've
point
truly
is, like,
read.
he's creating more comics, which I like. I don't know. I think you should like build a strong foundation with the first comic first before going into like a whole like Rippaverse like connected comic universe. You know?
Yeah.
So anything that jeopardizes the business potential.
It's specific. You see the sign right here? It says notice authorized personnel only. So Riley was violating Texas law. Okay, that means I have castle doctrine against him. That means I can sue him on site with my
Yeah,
shotgun.
it's just. Ugh. There's no argument. I'm just making. I can't deal with Eric July anymore. It's so unbearable.
I think if like Tyrone had some sort of face cam on right now, we could probably physically see the tumor growing in the back of his head from this.
It's just like your cube after he actually created the white people, and I'm wishing I would have fucking destroyed all the black ones. So Eric July.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
You know what they say? I've got a very special word to say to Eric July.
Oh my
if
god!
If he sees me, I'm not gonna ask him to pull up. I'm gonna give him, you know, the 6-letter word after it comes from grape juice. Drink it. I'm not saying that like Eric July. I'm gonna say, you know, black on black crime, whatever. Like Dr. Umar once said, you know. Actually, no, I can't say that on the stream. Never mind. Okay. Never mind. I'm not saying that.
Over
okay.
50 people if you include the families. I'll give you a.
If you
real ones,
wait, you're including the families and the employment? What? If you include the families, I have even more employees because the families work for free.
Yeah, that's strange.
An example. Recently, a deranged stalker that doesn't wash his clothes or his ass drove a Prius to one of our locations. He got that specific address from someone else, and despite lying.
No, it's not from someone else. It was publicly available.
Oh, God.
About it publicly and using someone else's screenshots, he did not get the location he appeared at in a copyright claim that was issued to him from us. He's just a crazy person that's trying to cause a scene and presenting it as a gag for crumbs of clout on the internet. This location is not our public address. It's not a store.
It's your business address. It is public.
His store address is his P.O. box, which is illegal. I don't know why he said that. He's admitting to a crime.
Yeah.
Nor does
you know,
our side of the
that, Eric.
business park face a public road. There's only 3 ways.
You trying to own Riley here and saying like, oh no, he's not only going to be sent to jail, but if I'm being nice, only sending him to jail. If I was a mean guy, you know, if he was truly disrespecting me, I would have had his face blown off with my fucking Texas shotgun. Because this is how we do it in Texas down here, John. I hope you realize that.
Yeah, we with Rockstar, it's here in Texas. Okay, we're gonna shoot you with the automatic shotgun.
Just so you can do this voice.
I think it's funny. The one that is not, and it's easier to access, is a one-way, and you'd have to turn around and go back the way you came to get out. That didn't stop a fat, unbathed man from appearing after hours and recording himself writing homosexual drawings, perhaps professing his love and desire to
some homosexual drawings, which I was not a fan of, okay? It's not that I hate the gay people, I just don't want to associate with them.
You know, homosexual drawings, such as, you know, putting a cross on your cock, on your character that's based off yourself.
Well, that's not homosexual. That's just me expressing my love for Christ, the one true God. That's the only man I've ever loved. Because my father didn't love me. Oh my god.
Be a gay rapper.
I'm going to hell for this.
He stopped by a business nearby and they told us he smelled like literal shit. Buildings in this business park are not owned by the same person, but all those involved have made it clear
He
that
went in the middle of the night. He saw no one.
Yeah.
Riley said, like, there's videos of him going there. He went in the middle of the night and no one saw him. Like, he deliberately went when no one would see him, so it wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, and he posted he printed out screenshots of the super chats and posted them on the doors.
Yeah.
Isn't allowed back on that property. Now, some people would say it's just a funny gag. We should just laugh it off. Ha ha ha, it's just jokes.
Yes.
Bro. And that's what I mean by moving differently. Granted, aside from driving by the property in a dirty Prius.
I'm David familiar with
Okay, so now he's
drive-bys.
reducing it to he drove by. He can't even drive by my fucking like,
Yeah.
business warehouse anymore.
That he somehow got into during the business hours.
No, he didn't.
Somehow got
He didn't get
into.
into it. He didn't get into it.
He was
pushed
standing
things on
outside the
door.
building.
Yes, he did not get in the building. If he got in the building, I would be anti-Riley. You're not, you know.
Oh, I
if
don't.
he
I don't
actually got into
know.
the building.
Let him cook for a second. You know what I mean?
If he got into the building when it was fucking like at night, that's fucked up. But he
No,
didn't.
yeah, that's
He just
actual
shut the door.
breaking and entering. Then at that point.
Yeah, that's what you listen to what Eric July just said. He said he somehow got in.
Yeah, no. Oh, I think what he means is
The
he
thing of
somehow
when
got
someone's
in on the
potent-
property.
Aside
When
from
someone's
driving
potentially
by the
offering
prop-
a legal threat is when I'm most semantically attuned because
Mhm.
any word you mean can, you know, take weight in court. And he's saying, you know, further action has to be done. Eric July's in a lawsuit. He's already threatened a lawsuit at Eric and Vito. I think Dick and Vito. What do you think he's gonna? What do you think his like weapon of attack is?
It's gonna
Other
be
than, like, oh yeah, I'm
lawsuits.
gonna get you a fucking shotgun and shoot you fucking brains out.
Yeah.
property in a dirty Prius that he somehow
Eat
got
shit,
into.
motherfucker!
During the business hours, he only drove by the front of the property. But it would be highly irresponsible for us not to do our due diligence. We have to treat it.
Do our due diligence, you see.
For driving by.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm within the gang, so I'm very familiar with the drive-bys. iDub says,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, after what iDub says, you know what? After watching Eric July, I've changed my mind. I'm gonna start saying the N-word again.
Amazing. Dude.
Yeah.
Seriously enough as if it has the potential to escalate, whether it be from him or someone else. I don't expect drama farmers on the internet to understand that, as they don't employ
Oh, that's us, Tyrone, with the drama farmers.
Hell yeah.
people to our degree. Of course, it's easy for an anemic sock account to think that we should just laugh it off. I guess it's only a coincidence that you choose to keep your place of employment and your own real name a secret. But should something hit the fan...
Do you know who else, not a sock puppet account, said to laugh it off? You know someone with more validity? Nick Recader, a lawyer.
Yeah, he's a sock puppet account. All right, he don't know what he's talking about. He's not a Rockstar lawyer.
Had this, let's say, not been addressed or taken seriously, guess who must deal with the consequences? It won't be the general content creators or the law tubers or anemic sock account.
The law tubers, yeah. Again, he can't mention Nick Recader by name. He just has to vaguely mention everything.
It falls on me. That's my
Because his audience
responsibility.
actually shares a lot of people with Nick Recader, that's why.
Yeah,
And,
so
like,
he has to keep it
can't-
vague.
Because his whole thing is pandering to this audience, he can't actually just like do a screaming match with Nick Recader. He can only turn it into an emotional argument because he has nothing. He can only like say like, "Well, I agree to disagree," because he can't afford to lose like the Nick Recader audience.
No, because you're
Because it's so
disrespecting
much of
him, you
his.
know?
No, because it's so much of his. He can afford to take shots at Dick Madison because probably not much overlap. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? But
Well, also too, he
Nick
like in
Recader.
terms of like general, like if we're looking purely at like subscriber stats and everything like that, he's the bigger creator than Dick. But Dick has a lot of he's
Like,
a
Dick's been banned
long-standing
on YouTube
creator.
Twice, so
Yeah.
it's like it's not really fair. His main audience isn't on YouTube.
Yeah, but
which is,
like Dick definitely has a more die-hard audience than I would say Ripper does, because Yellow Flash, what's the name of that guy, Nerdtonic,
Yeah.
all these guys are just like they're on the payroll for now, you know. Like as soon as like Rippaverse stock goes down, they're gonna leave him high and dry.
when Dick Madison had his website operated by Libsyn, he would say his numbers was like because this was a few years ago when you'd go on dickshow.com, you would have you'd play the podcast versus the Libsyn feed, and the Libsyn feed would always get like 80 to 90k people each week. Like his main audience wasn't on YouTube because he wasn't uploading the podcast on YouTube at that point. Because his old YouTube Dick Madison got banned, and then he made a new one and also got banned.
Yeah, because
He was uploading all the
of information that he was saying on there. It sucks
Yeah,
that
we're not even gonna talk about that.
no, yeah, because then this channel's gonna get taken down.
Dr. Fauci ouchie, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was not factual. Nothing.
So you're not accusing Dick and Eric of fucking with your or Dick,
Oh, wrong video. Sorry. I wanted some kind of good content from Nick Ricada for a second.
and I take that very seriously. Stalker weirdos, they're weird, but I know how to handle myself. I carry wherever I go. It's not
I carry, all right. When someone tells me to pull up, I pull up.
Amazing.
not even about people finding out where our locations are. That was bound to happen, definitely with the internet.
So, like, why do you care so much then if someone showed up? If it's a public place of business and eventually people were going to show up at your business, why didn't you hire security guards? I mean, you got millions of dollars from this Kickstarter and you supposedly are able to hire dozens upon dozens of employees. Were security guards not in the budget?
I don't know. I don't think security guards would do anything, to be honest. What fucking Riley did.
Well, you know, they they can ask him like to leave the building, or like, I'm sorry, not the building, but like leave the premises. You know what I mean?
I guess, but is security guards they really like hang outside a warehouse in the middle of the night and just like stand there?
the type of security guards that Rippaverse would hire, you know?
Okay, I understand. Okay, like there's probably going to be one security guard, and he probably might be inside the building protecting the stock. But the grey warehouse, I don't think needs to truly be protected.
Get Mike the Bike to be the security
post
guard.
Something on the post a sticker on the door. Like, heaven forfend if someone did that. Oh
yeah.
Right.
And there's a reason why we've long had armed security that's in the building.
Oh, so he does have armed security. Jesus.
In the building, like I said. Okay.
Anybody can be found, and that includes your own house. There's a difference between understanding that and driving your unbathed
that made
ass
sense.
to state.
That made sense. It's like, yeah, he wouldn't have just like security guards like outside.
Security that's in the building. Anybody can be found, and that includes your own house. There's a difference between understanding that and driving your unbathed ass to states over, filming, essentially saying, look, they work over there. The fat man did say he was coming back, but that doesn't even account for others that may do something weird. This is where my employees deserve the peace of mind to be able to do their jobs. I'm not even there. It is not unreasonable to expect people to have the decency to not.
Again, he didn't show up when your employees were there.
And he just posted stuff on the door, which you're
yeah. I've seen Riley. I don't think he's a massive physical threat. You know what I mean?
Neither is Eric July. Eric July tried to claim he was like a bodybuilder at one point. I don't know.
Oh no, yeah, I've seen that stuff.
Out of here in places
He's like really
of
small. He's
employment.
like a very small, meek man who looks like. He just looks like 2016 Keemstar, but palette swapped.
Oh my god, he does, but a messier beard too.
Yeah, he looks like.
I can't unsee it. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to like do a side by side.
Still getting hate.
That's me. He's doing his own version of that right now.
Yeah, that's what we can do.
Oh my god, I can't unsee it now, Tyrone.
Or their houses. In any other context, we consider it unhinged for someone to stalk, drive several hundred miles, and appear at someone's business. That, again, is not some storefront. If I'm at an event, something like that, I welcome anybody to come chat, shake hands, take pictures, or whatever, as long as...
See, guys, look at this. I'm at a panel, and people are bringing the comic book to me to sign. Okay, that shows you I'm a good person.
Eric July can't make a point. Why is this even here? There's like no point.
No, yeah, it's just like look at how many people like me.
Of course you're going to be. Yeah, it's just meandering around because he can't make a very point. Because there is no point. It's an emotional argument, and his emotional argument is always like, "I'm such a good guy. I do things for my fans. You're my fan. You should like me, and you should agree with me. This guy was wrong. You know, this not only is this guy wrong, he should be shot.
Yeah,
you know, you can blast your fucking brains out, motherfucker."
Dick and Vito fucking with your
I'm
business.
motherfucker. I'll blast your fucking brains off.
Until the tweet.
Oh no! That's not what it is that I'm saying. The guy has been actively trying to fuck with the business. I mean, he said
by making fun of your comic book. Like that's like going after people like Vito made this comparison on like the latest Dick show episode. like, you know, people reasonably didn't want people to go after sponsors because that's messing up with like your source of income. If I make fun of your comic book, because like, guess what, Eric? Your fans are gonna buy whatever you sell them. You could tell them that you have a special Rippaverse paperclip, and like nothing. It's just an ordinary paperclip, and you could sell it for $50.
The paperclip industry, John, it's been messed up. It's woke infested the paperclip industry. You need to save the paperclip industry, John. It doesn't matter if this paperclip immediately falls apart, John. Immediately fucking, I don't know what the fuck I did there. I just switched accents into, because I can't talk like Eric July and make a point. It's impossible. If you talk like Eric July and make a point, you're not talking like Eric July anymore. The impression goes away. Because you can't talk coherently. You can't actually say cogent points. You don't sound like Eric July anymore. It's like, oh yeah, you have to just like, you have to do like a groundskeeper Willie impression, like an incoherent moron, just like fucking wandering around in the fucking like, let me steal this bike over here. That's the Eric July impression.
Yeah, but no, like he could sell a paperclip for like $50 and his fans would buy it. People making fun of your stuff isn't really going to affect your business unless you're thinking of like, because like, oh my god, eventually the well's gonna run dry with my fans, and I need people to buy my stuff. I can't have people making fun of it. Eric, did you or did you not make your career off of making fun of like people's woke comic books? I'm sure like the writers probably didn't appreciate you making fun of their work. If they went after you the same way you went after Dick Masterson for going after your stuff, would you be okay with it? Because after all, you're going after someone's business, someone's livelihood. After all, right? Because you're making fun of it.
The thing was, Dick didn't even fucking read it. He was just like criticizing Eric July of how he was acting. It's like, oh, have you read it? It's like, oh, I'll actually read it now because all you guys are making fun of just saying this shit. Because it was like, yeah, I can criticize it because Eric July criticizes trailers all the time, and he criticizes all these things that he hasn't actually consumed. But then Dick actually read it and gave him like a BTFO review. And it's like, oh no, you don't understand ISOM. You don't understand ISOM, man. You don't understand ISOM, man.
Listen, man, you don't understand anything, man.
He's trying to contact the charity, trying to prove some case of fucking fraud that doesn't.
That's him saying that Dick's the one's contacting the charity.
Yeah, once again.
Or maybe ask questions about a fraud that he perceived. Okay. So the question I have for you, though, is are people allowed to investigate a perceived fraud?
Oh, of course.
How would one do that?
Maybe they would, again, contact the charity to try to find it.
So if someone sees something and they go, this seems like a scam or fraud.
And notice how, like, because we played a bit of the guy who's like one of Eric July's employees, because they refuse to mention the organization by name. Because they know, like, because they know it's like, as soon as you say the name, it's like, oh yeah, Eric must have gotten it from that. Because like, there's no other reason. Like, he's like this.
Much for fucking Eric July at this point. It's so.
Eric, I hope you know that some way, somehow, you get all your ducks in a row and you're able to come out of this somehow without losing all your money.
Eric July, this is my note to you. I hope one day, you know, in the words of Joseph Heller, he learned how to read better. I hope Eric July can take that principal advice and finally learn how to say his own name correctly and perhaps even say it correctly. Maybe then he can go against Floyd Mayweather and the Oracle in a competition of one thing. Being able to read a single page of a Harry Potter book. Because, let's be honest,
oh my God,
at this current thing, the batting average can swing either way. I'm personally going with Oracle, though.
We need to contact Oracle and see if he, like, have him do his version of an Eric July impression. I want to see that.
Okay. That would be amazing.
You think disrespect?
That's my Oracle impression. Eric July is like, I just see that. I just protect me. And you're glad you protected me.
Oh
That's
my
my
god.
if you couldn't tell the difference there, it's rather apt.
Well, Tyrone, thank you so much for joining me on today's live stream. Go ahead and plug your stuff. I know you recently got into a strike on your channel.
I got it resolved.
You got it
That was
resolved.
the thing. I got it resolved within like 5 hours. I actually like someone put it to someone who actually works at YouTube and got it fucking resolved, which is fucking innate. And the reason that I even did that is because I did a stream on Mischief, right?
Mhm.
And I have my personal grievances with Mischief that I could go into.
Yeah,
a
he's
while,
he's an interesting character now.
You may know Mischief, especially on the Nerdy John channel, for being, someone known for being messed with Quantum TV. I described him as someone who was, he's a retard who was lucky an even bigger retard went after him. And
Yeah.
I put it in a very, kind of sensationalist way. A lot of people went at it, including some people saying like, "You can't make this up. Imagine, someone with a title of this, it isn't going to get striked." And he highlighted me saying stuff like "brown and dirty" in a tweet. Tweets that I don't.
Wait. So
like.
Mischief actually responded to your tweets?
Yes, he did.
Oh my god!
And
I need to
because
see
of
this.
that, and because of that, John, because of the entire commotion around that, someone reached out to me and I got the entire thing resolved within 6 hours. So because Mischief once again did the entire thing I criticized him for, I got the strike removed. So
Jesus Christ, Mischief, man. Why? Cause you see the thing, because I don't know if you noticed this, but like he's moved towards like gaming reviews now. He doesn't really do commentary.
I am aware.
So like he's one of these guys who started doing the commentary thing to get big from it. Then as soon as he got big from it, he switched to a different genre. Which I mean, if you want to do a different thing, that's fine. But like you used to make fun of people too, Mischief. You constantly like all Mischief does, by the way, and this isn't me like being like anyone who does this is like pathetic. Like he'll like insert like console fan and PlayStation fanboys are crying over this one, and it's like literally like 5 people's tweets about like the most dumbest take ever on like a video game thing.
Wonderful.
Yeah. But guys, let's get a link to Tyrone's channel.
Sub to me. There's my channel. It's Strike Free. So there's gonna be a stream on probably Sunday this week. There's a few things that go on this fucking stream. I talk about a bunch of wacky stuff. I do a weekly stream every Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's called Kill the Sabbath. And I go over a bunch of wacky things. You ever heard of Dr. Umar? Well, he got into controversy. He's a revolutionary Pan-Africanist who got into controversy because he met with a white woman.
Oh no!
There's a bunch of wacky. Yes,
that's scandal right there.
He also got into a debate with Jesse Lee Peterson. Jesse Lee Peterson is someone who you may remember from debating Destiny back in the day. And he got into debate over him because Jesse Lee Peterson thinks Donald Trump is the Great White Hope, and Dr. Umar believes that all black people have a shared suffering, and any white man has a higher privilege, regardless of their income, than any black individual, because they benefit from a white power system. So you have the black guy who thinks, who basically believes in the big white hope, right? That's what he calls Donald Trump.
Oh my
and you have
gosh.
Dr. Umar who believes, and they strike it out in perfect Jesse Lee Peterson style. And there's a clip where Dr. Umar goes mask off and starts calling him every racial slur possible. We cover stuff like that. We cover Mischief. I even cover like Eric July. I cover kind of everything that kind of goes on the internet.
Yeah.
Everything that I kind of find interesting, funny, any wild statistic. Like, did you know, for example, in the state of Nevada, that 2% of all women were detected with canine semen in their pap smear test?
I did not know that.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. This is the kind of thing I cover. Esoteric.
I'm guessing those
no
2% are white women, right?
Yes. Well, I actually It actually doesn't say that, you know.
But we can infer. We can infer.
We can assume. But that's a lot of people. That's 1 in 50 people in Nevada, by the way.
Yeah, that's kind of scary.
Yeah, and I looked into this one place where it was like the pet capital of Nevada, and it only had like 2,000 people there.
That's
Yes.
Jesus.
Yeah, so you know we go over the most interesting things.
Oh
So
my
if you
God.
do the math, that's 40 women in that town, that small town where everyone kind of knows each other. 40 people in there that are probably having sexual relationships with a dog, and this is only the people that got caught, by the way.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Jeez. My God. Well, on that note, thank you guys for watching the stream. Make sure you subscribe to Tyrone, and heck, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Make sure you hit that like button, and heck, if you want to really support the channel, become a member for just 99 cents. Thank you guys for watching. This is Nerdy John signing out.
Hell